Hey everyone, and welcome back. Let's jump right into today's explainer, because we've got a really fascinating pitch deck to unpack from a company called KeepMake. Today, we're looking at something incredibly personal, the future of the family story. Now, if you love seeing how a business identifies a deep, emotional consumer problem and then actually builds a structured solution to solve it, you are going to love this. We're going to explore exactly how we preserve the memories that truly matter and why the everyday tools we rely on right now are just falling desperately short.
So I want to start by throwing this question right back at you. Take a second and really think about it. Where does your family story actually live right now? Is it neatly organized somewhere? Actually, scratch that. It's probably buried in thousands of unsorted photos on your camera roll, right? Maybe it's scattered across a dozen random notes apps, or buried deep in group text messages. Or worse, maybe it's slowly fading away because it's just stored in one parent's memory. It's kind of an uncomfortable realization, isn't it?
And that realization brings us right to the core philosophy of KeepMake. There's this fantastic quote in their deck. Families don't need more ways to capture memories. They need a better way to turn the moments they already save into a story they can look back on. You see, the issue isn't that we aren't taking enough photos. We take tons of them. The real issue is that we're basically just hoarding digital files without actually curating a legacy. We capture everything, but we're making sense of absolutely nothing.
All right, Section 1, the scattered memory problem. Let's dive into it.
So the first major pain point here is that while the huge moments are saved, the tiny, crucial details are totally lost. Think about it. We easily snap photos of the first day of school or a birthday party, but what about that hilarious off-the-wall quote your kid said in the car? Or those weird inside jokes? Those everyday details vanish because our reflection happens way too late. By the time the end of the year rolls around, sure, you can find the big photos, but the small details that actually made the year meaningful, poof. Gone. And the whole story is just a scattered mess across different apps.
Which naturally leads us to Section 2, why current tools fail.
When we map out the current landscape of what we use, a pretty clear pattern emerges. Journals, like the Apple Journal, are great for reflection, but they're super individual and honestly hard to share. Photo books? They're tangible, which is nice, but they're usually built way after the fact. They are entirely photo first, and let's be real, over time, they just create a mountain of physical clutter. And social media? It's easy for sharing, sure, but it's entirely performative. It's shaped by an audience, highly algorithmic, and far less private than what families actually want for their intimate memories.
This really highlights a massive cultural shift in consumer behavior. We are rapidly moving away from that old era of public sharing on performative, algorithmic feeds. The new demand is heavily leaning toward private circles. People want secure archives. They want group chats and close friends lists where families can actually control the narrative and share real, messy, unpolished moments safely.
Okay, moving on to Section 3, the KeepMake solution.
KeepMake solves this whole scattered mess through a very specific, lightweight habit loop. It's brilliant in its simplicity. Step 1 is establishing a 5-minute reflection ritual. Just a quick, weekly capture while the memory is still fresh, guided by helpful prompts so you never have to stare at a blank page. Step 2, the platform automatically organizes these entries by person and by theme. And Step 3 is where the real magic happens. Those tiny weekly inputs automatically transform into these beautiful, personalized monthly recaps and a meaningful year in review.
To make this work, KeepMake introduces the concept of collections. Instead of just a giant, endless chronological feed of photos, your memories are tagged and organized by person, theme, date, and month. This means an inside joke, a child's small win, or a funny quote goes exactly where it belongs in the story. You can literally pull up a collection of your 12-year-old's creations or challenges over the years. You're looking back by meaning, not just by some random Tuesday date.
Section 4, a shift to privacy.
Now, what's super interesting here are the market signals that completely validate KeepMake's potential. First off, guided reflection absolutely works. Products like Storyworth prove that people love answering prompts when the result is meaningful. Second, apps like 1 Second Every Day show us that tiny, lightweight habits compound into massive emotional payoffs. Third, and this is huge, the year in review is totally mainstream now. Just look at Spotify Wrapped. Consumers actively expect products to help them make sense of their year. And finally, the blank page is losing its appeal. People want structure, not the burden of starting from scratch.
So, the absolutely crucial takeaway here is this. Curation matters way more than capture. Families already have the raw material. You already have the photos, the random notes, the funny text messages to your spouse.
What you desperately need is a simple, structured way to make sense of it all, tying those scattered pieces into one cohesive story. All right, let's talk business. Section 5, the market opportunity.
It all starts with a hyper-specific target customer. KeepMake is not trying to be everything for everyone. They are laser-focused on reflective parents with kids specifically between the ages of 4 and 14. Why that age gap? Because they've outgrown the baby book phase, but the moments, the friendships, the challenges, the funny quotes are actually richer and harder to capture. This is a customer who already orders holiday cards and photo books. They already share private updates, and, maybe most importantly, they feel guilty about not documenting more. The behavior is already there, they just need a better tool.
When we look at the market sizing, there's a very realistic progression. The total addressable market, or TAM, includes all U.S. families with children under 18. That's roughly 33 million families. But KeepMake smartly narrows that down to a serviceable addressable market of about 6.5 to 11.5 million memory-keeping households. Drilling down even further, their specific sweet spot market, those reflective parents ready to pay right now, is estimated at an immediate 65,000 to 350,000 paying families.
And when you zoom out and look at the big picture, that overall market translates to this staggering number, a $2 to $3 billion opportunity. This is based on a projected $60 to $96 annual subscription model. It just goes to show the immense, massive scale of solving this very specific family pain point.
So, what is the roadmap for KeepMake's next phase? Well, first, they plan to strengthen that habit loop, ensuring that weekly memory capture is as frictionless as humanly possible. Second, they're going to launch monthly recaps and integrate AI summaries. This is a real game changer, using AI to surface patterns and summarize stories over the year without losing the family's authentic human voice. And third, they'll test premium packaging, exploring what users will pay extra for. Think physical printed books, gifts, or advanced AI features. It's a very clear path to turning weekly habits into a paid conversion powerhouse.
We have covered some incredible ground today, exploring exactly how structured curation can solve our digital hoarding problem. I want to leave you with this final, provocative thought right from the source material. When you look back in 10 years, will your family's everyday details have faded away completely, or will they be preserved in a lasting story? It's a powerful challenge, isn't it? It really makes you rethink how you are preserving your own history. Keep's whole premise is that with just a little structure, you can curate a legacy that truly matters. Thank you so much for joining me on this Explainer today. Keep learning, stay focused, and I'll see you next time.